scouting from Nyx, like the overall team fight and pushing utility and Roche taking of Death Prophet. If PL has a game, he will carry. So I think, like, once again, it's a similar story to last game. I think Miracle's geared up to take over this game single-handedly, and we saw them do it so well, enabling him last game, and I'm sure it'll happen again.
And I think for sort of the draft for Liquid, at least for me, the most intriguing thing about it is this last pick, Zeus. I mean, what do you think they sort of see in this game that's made them want to go and, again, sort of switch things around a bit, have Mickey this time play the mid lane, and given the Zeus in this sort of game?
I'm not 100% sure why they have Mickey playing it, but I actually predicted they'd pick Tinker. They needed a backline nuker.
Okay.
They can't really fight into DP. They can't really fight into ET that way, like melee form. And so rather than like having somebody like strength heroes mid are countered by Death Prophet, like int up in your face heroes are countered by Nyx. So I think by that like deduction, they needed a backline damage dealer. And so I think they just probably preferred Zeus over the Tinker. I honestly think they were the best two picks. Like, I really like the Zeus pick, but I think this is similar to game 2 in the sense that that 4th pick for Miracle was just too good. PL hard counters Mars later on in the game because Spear only hits one target. It hard counters Drow. It hard counters Tusk because you can doppel away from the snowball and the shards. It's just good against all of their heroes, and I don't think there was any hero last pick last game in the Ursa slot that could have solved their problems. And I honestly think that Zeus is their best chance. So I think it gives them a win condition. And I honestly like that they basically just said, okay, we're going to go all in on positioning, lane dominance, and maybe that'll take the game for us. Because this is, once again, a momentum game. Because if PL ever gets his foot off the ground, he will be, or up and running, I guess you could say, he will be terrorizing them, basically.
And when you look at sort of these lanes, these side lanes, and what Liquid can get done early on, like where lies their sort of best chance to disrupt that momentum? That you should say, if Nigma are able to get it, this game's going to be very, very hard for Liquid. Like what can Liquid look to do and achieve in the early stages of this game?
I think it's just killing the Bloodseeker and or DP. The thing about PL is he's not really going to help his teammates. He's not a carry that like counter ganks, rotates early, represents like much team fight presence for the first like 10 or 15 minutes. So I think it is all about isolating the PL's farm, and what you can do is basically itemize to deal only with the PL later on in the game. And one thing I like that Kyle mentioned, Nyx in the early game, or like in the early portions of the draft, enables PL so hard if it's a good PL game, because you don't want to pick these like mobile int heroes, and you also don't want to buy a Radiance against Nyx. So all these normal PL counters kind of go on the wayside because of that Nyx pick, and trading 1-for-1 bottom, I would say goes in favor of Miracle, but he might be in some trouble here with the Orb of Venom from Boxy. Spear, if he gets this kill, Phantom rushes for the creep, has a mango for the God's Rebuke, and he does. Okay.
I mean, yeah, the Boxy's going to be happy with that one. A lovely cleanup.
Much needed.
Yeah, for sure for him. I mean, Miracle at least did get a kill. He also was able to take out the chorus and some good gold for him. But all in all, Boxy cleaning up some nice XP for himself with that kill on the PL after it all. Look at some of these other lanes, seeing in the mid, 14 for 4, 15 for 1. Pretty close trade. Top lane, the Drow having a fine old time here up top, Quake, as he's certainly winning the lane so far against Mind Control. And also, the stacks up, but yeah, Kuro in position to make sure that they're not quite able to manipulate the wave in this sort of way. And sort of Drow, I mean, for Quake, how hard is this game going to be for him? Is it sort of just when the PL starts to get involved in the action, it gets hard for the Drow? Other than that, is it an okay game?
Drow does a ton of damage, and the only thing that prevents her from doing damage is having people be within range of her ultimate aura so that she doesn't have the procs go off. And PL's job this game will just be to play up in her face. And so, I hate to say it, but at least from my experience, Drow into a decently farmed PL is literally unplayable. Like, even Ags Mjolnir does not solve your problems. Like, You have to be like an item or two ahead, and you have to have like enough survivability to deal with the other heroes on PL's team, and then you have to have an Ags Mjolnir. So that's like that's my personal experience, but we'll see how it goes. It really does come down to the Zeus. It's his sole responsibility as the game goes on to deal with the PL. But as you see Miracle already queuing up the treads in the Hood of Defiance, I think that's what really broke PL this patch to make him way more viable than before. Even just removing a 200 gold recipe from the Hood is enough to make it viable on a carry. It makes it come out 45 seconds earlier. It makes it like a more of a feels-good item. And a lot of his counters are like these early game nukers. And Hood just deals with that stage of the game, like fills up that hole in the timings so well. And the thing about Mars, Kyle mentioned it, it's nice in lane versus PL. So if they can keep this momentum going bottom, it can be really nice. But the Knicks already looking to shut that down as Kuroki has moved to the bottom lane. Bloodseeker farming under his tower in the meantime, so no real loss from Nigma if they don't get anything from this. Weehaw has his ultimate, so he can be looking to pressure. Also, Mickey has his ultimate, so the pace of the game is probably going to ramp up pretty quick. At least if Liquid wants to take this game, I think they do have to ramp up the pace of the game.
We'll see what sort of moves they can pull off. Kuro starting to tease around with Mickey past the tower. They're going to commit in for this. We are ready to dive with the Ghost out. Instant TP responses coming in from Liquid, though Insania and Tiger are around.
No mana on Rubik.
And the presence alone does seem to be enough to sort of make We Are think twice, but now We Are himself, he's got further back up. Mind Control spent the time to head over to here. Extra TP's coming in. Quakefor also looking to join the action in the mid lane. The Siphon and the Ghost will take down Tiger as We Are gets one of them. Mind Control starting to force back the rest of them away from the tower. Give some space to keep this pressure on early with this first exorcism usage, and still looking for kills. I mean, GH, Mind Control, and Kuro, they're just right in the faces of Liquid, pushing them all the way back. Mickey nearly going down to the Spirit. Now Tiger, he's back in, he's ready for another round. They will manage to get the slow in onto Kuro. A flurry of arrows from Quakefor helps to take him down. But again, sort of similar to the other games that we've seen from both teams this series, both sides just ready to really put everything into to really making sure that even these early little moves and attempts at objectives are never going to be easy for each side.
Yeah, this is like a magician with sleight of hand, Owen. You know, we're all looking at the mid-fight. We're all seeing the action, quote-unquote, that's going on. What I see is a Drow that TP'd to the fight and a PL that's hitting creeps.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I see. That's the magic behind the quote-unquote magic. You know, like, this is the secret. That the ace up his sleeve, if you will. I just don't I don't think you win games in carry matchups when one carry is doing this and the other one's fighting.
He's ended up on a cliff. That's Insania dropped him up there. He has got the TP though, so straight back up to the top. At least means that Boxy's not going to have to worry about We Are doing anything down on the bottom lane. Top lane, Quakefor, he's going to go for the TP out. They've got quite a bit of damage with the Siphon, not enough though, so Quakefor will be fine.
And he's TPing out while PL is hitting creeps. I hate to be Mr. Doomsday again, man. This is exactly what Game 2 looked like. This is deja vu in a nutshell for me, at least. The thing about PL in this game is at no point do they reliably initiate onto him. If he has a bunch of his illusions, Rubik's single target lift, Tuska's single target snowball, Mars a single target spear, there's just no point where he's actually threatened. And once he gets Manta to remove the Drow silence, he'll always be able to doppelganger away. As this is all just bread and circuses from Nigma here as they push the mid tower. This is just, hey, come look at me. My PL's hitting creeps, as Weehaw is probably going to be okay, but that's actually a lot more damage than I think he expected.
Yeah, the three of them all falling very low here. Liquid could potentially get some of these kills. They'll get the one on Kuro, snowball over towards GH. They'll be able to pick two on the defense. Weehaw able to make it out in time. Still, you know, Liquid being very stubborn, not letting this tier 1 in the mid fall. Doing their best to push back these sieges every time Weehaw gets the exorcism out. And Definitely, as you say, continued space for Miracle, as that hood is just a few hundred gold away. About 600 gold ahead of that of Koikfa's farm. Koikfa getting some backup though. Tigers coming in with a wraparound. And this could be a good solid attempt at taking down Mind Control. Extra bit of hold with the snowball and they'll do it. Mind Control actually also popping the rope shot on Tiger on the way out, so nothing to be found with that. Tiger's able to step to the side of the stomp. Actually, well, with We Are coming in, they will have the damage to take the kill in response. So Tiger does fall. A bit of action for Koikfa, and as soon as the side of Liquid see what's going on up top, they see that Nigma's got Weeha in position. Koikfa's out of that top lane, head straight down to the bottom to try and continue to find space to farm it. And a bit of farming, extra bit of involvement in a kill here. For the arena popped, getting some action for Koikfa. So I'm going to keep him on track. But, Miracle at the same time, he's beaten down on this tier 1 top. So going to be any attempt from Liquid to really slow this one down. Insane is trying to do what he can, but there's only so much you can offer. Boxy, again, looking towards this tier 1. Every single time Nigma even show a couple of heroes here. Yeah, of course, coming through from Liquid to really hold on to this tier 1 for as long as they can.
I implore all the people at home that if you don't understand the difference between like pressure farming and AFK farming, to watch Miracle in the last 2 games. He had virtually no participation in kills last game, in the early game, and same thing going on this game. But he's consistently pressuring towers, forcing reactions. In the last game with Medusa, it was mid tower. This time it's top tower with PL. It has such high impact on the game, and in the meantime, he's just being incredibly efficient. And I think it's super important to learn from for people watching. This is how he solo carries games. And as we see Weeha running in with the Exorcism bottom.
Yeah, Boxy able to hold him back with the stun, Kura off the mark with the Impale. Boxy's out of range of it all, but still, with the backup Weeha has, he can start to have a bit of a punch at this tower. Koikfa is going to hang around and maybe see if they can sort of put some punches into Wheat. Still extra time though, where Koikfa is having to spend sat behind the tower and wait and see what comes in. And it looks like their sort of presence of standing around is enough to send Nigma elsewhere. As they will retreat Nigma. Now we're seeing on Miracle's progression, that hood of course now done. Now start to work into the diffusal. And still getting that a little bit further and further ahead of the Drow. Over 1,000 gold between them now at this early stage, 12 minutes in a game where overall the team net worth, it's close, only less than 1k in it, but still definite issues for Liquid's lineup with the fact that this PL is getting pretty much uncontested space.
Yeah, for the casual viewers at home, you see a kill lead of 9-3. For Dire, you see pretty much an even game. I would say this is not even close to even. They need to get something done on the side of Liquid. This is, the time is ticking, boys, as the clock is already counting down, and I know that they're not going to need to feel rushed. Like, don't try to do too much with your heroes, but if you don't get stuff done quick, they need to have a timing in mind. And Bloodseeker kill, like, oddly enough, I just don't care at this. We see Death Prophet killing a mid-tower.
Yeah.
We see PL hitting Ancients. We see Elder Titan solo farming bottom. Like, Team Nigma, this just doesn't matter to them. Obviously, the kills are nice, and I think Liquid's doing all that they can at the current moment. But I think this is just a perfect display of an outdraft. When the game is completely even, one team has to make a 4-man rotation, and it results in tower taking for the opponent. I think that's when you know you've kind of just been outmaneuvered in the early game. And so this means that, I guess Liquid's gearing up to go late. I don't really see their option for, like, ending early. I think that's a realistic, like, goal to go for. So, you know, I'm curious to see what kind of builds they go for. It looks like Mickey is queuing it up to scale with the Boots of Travel into Bloodstone. So he definitely is not looking for like that early Ags tempo to help give that extra bit of damage. They know this game is going the distance.
Oh, Liquid ready to try and make a move around Koikfa down bottom. At the moment, only the one of them down here. Only GH hanging around the tower, so not necessarily a huge catch for Liquid, even if they do find it. Again, just a potential support kill. I'll drop the scan. They know they're in the trees, so continue to sweep it.
Spidey senses.
Oh, they've found him. There's no escape for GH. Lock him down in the arena. So another kill for Liquid. Again, pretty much requiring the 4 of them to be around for it. And we'll try their best to get the tower out of it as well. So still getting something, but still, as you say, Brian, it's still not as much as they need in this sort of game.
This is much better than the other kill, just because it's going to lead to an objective.
True. Yeah.
But since we're in a pause, I think it's really cool to learn from Nigma in these games, because you've seen players in similar roles both games. If you watch GH, the way he's played this in the game 2 in their wins, or at least, predicting this is going to be a win, is that he's just playing the dangerous farm area, my favorite, the dead lane, and just being a support that they have to gank. Like, you may laugh saying, oh, they used an ultimate and 4 heroes to kill that Elder Titan. What else are they supposed to do? He's sitting in the trees killing the creep wave. There's nothing else. There's no other option for them. They have to dedicate that many resources to kill him. And he was doing something similar on Phoenix. It is a way to make space as a 4. You don't always have to be running at people and killing them in order to make space. If you're slowing down the opponent's momentum, slowing down their ability to take objectives, that alone is going to open up the map for your PL, in this case, to farm. So it's just a lot to learn from these games, and I love to see it. And I think Liquid really is doing the best they can with the tools they have. It's kind of like trying to cut something with a dull knife. I don't know if it's going to work. But another kill going their way, and more creeps to hit for PL.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah, he's done with the defusal. Hood and defusal here. It's pre-16 minutes, a miracle. Still hitting every single timing that he'd hoped to. The pickup of the PL this game. And on the other side, how's Quakever's farm looking to go? He has got the basis up with the D-Lance and the Yasha. Still a fair bit of time, and as you say, just a game that the matchup in itself is not really going to look any better for Quakever as the moments pass, with Miracle keeping as farmed, and if not, if they are able to start taking some fights themselves, if they're keeping the net worth level when they're down 3-13 on the kills, you've only got to imagine how big their league could potentially grow once they do start getting Miracle involved and actually using this fast power that he's built up.
Yeah, all these items are just enabling him to farm faster. Defusal makes him a threat on the map, so nobody wants to mess with him single-handedly, which in and of itself is efficiency, if nobody on the enemy team wants to be near you. The Hood allows for the sustain. The Mant is going to make him way more survivable, because his only way of dying really is the Drow Silence. And then the next item is the one that's really going to matter. I believe it might be a Heart of Tarask, just to go have sustain through the kind of consistent magic damage that Zeus will be dishing out. It's like the Heart plus the next item is where he's hit critical mass, and I don't see a way to victory for Liquid. The Heart's going to make him unkillable, and then if you go something like Abyssal or Scotty, he's going to basically just remove Drow and Zeus from the game. So that's like the major timing I'm looking for here. Like, it may look like he's building to fight with this Hood and the defusal, but he's like willing to fight, but he really doesn't feel the need to. And you're seeing here, Nigma's willing to make a move towards him for the first time this game. His items are finally online enough that they want to play around him. And Insania about to bite the dust in the dead lane here.
That looks pretty dead. Easy setup from Mind Control with the ATOS he's now got complete. As soon as they show top, though, Liquid are going to feel more confident with having Boxy start to poke again at this tier 1 tower mid.
That's good damage. Dragon scale damage.
He may see if he's able to get his way out of this. He's going to drop the arena. Run his way out of here with the Rupture, but the ATOS holding him in position, setting up for the stomp to come in from GH. Boxy will fall for his aggressive attempt to get some damage.
What a good ATOS purchase, man. What a good ATOS purchase. They didn't really have a setup. They have like ET Stomp and Nick Stun, but both are relatively unreliable. So Mind Control, really good itemization to kind of clean up the missing pieces in the Nigma draft. And you're seeing the ATOS. Not always is it a super reliable lockdown if you're dealing with mobile heroes, but they have Drow, Zeus, Mars cores, man. They're getting ATOS. And now Miracle If it was hard enough to kill him once, now you got to kill him again. Pretty much looking like a rerun of game 2.
I know, it certainly is in sort of the way that, again, you know, as you addressed earlier, you know, people are going to look at the top, they'll see 13-5, less than 1k in it, but it just feels that it's as if like Nigma don't need to get any kills. You know, they haven't got any more kills than they need to. They're very happy to play the game as it is. As it's just not a crucial part of their game plan, as long as Miracle continues to make the progress that he has been doing so for the last 19 minutes.
Yeah, they keep losing the battles, but they intend to win the war. That's pretty much their strategy here. All that it takes when you have the farming like win condition on your side is to say, we care about this area of the map because as long as he's farming, we're good. And if you don't do anything there, we don't really care what you're doing. And that's what the approach has been.
Koifa, the rest of Liquid were trying to make a smoke movement, but Nigma able to just step into the jungle and get on top of Koifa. Was Liquid, they were elsewhere. They were trying to go for sort of a long sweep round, break into that triangle from around that tier 1 up top, and just ends up leaving Koifa completely exposed.
Yeah, it's just too easy for them in comparison, right? Like if you smoke gank the PL, you might not even get him. Like if you find him, and in this case, if they even like lay eyes on the Drow, they're gonna kill the Drow. There's like no amount of positioning that Koifa can do there. Once he gets the Manta, it'll be a bit better, just because their main source of catch is the Atos. So it was quite fortunate for them to pick him off right before that timing. He's only 200 gold off, but by no means is it like the PL, because with PL, once he mantas, he can doppel to reset. With Drow, it's manta and run, which isn't necessarily good enough against like the PL phantom rushing you and the DP exorcism move speed, Yules catching you. I love the items from Weehawk queued up as well. The BKB Blink Dagger. They're only lacking catch, really, on the side of Nigma. They have the vision from Nyx, and now they just need to get on top of the heroes that they see. And he's just going to ram his face into Liquid's lineup and say, you know, look at me, as PL is killing everyone else. I'm sure is his intent here. It's crazy to see they have a 1K net worth lead. I don't think I've ever had it's been a long time since I've seen a game where this kill score and net worth lead is so deceiving towards what I believe to be happening in the game.
Yeah, and in this sort of game as well, is there much sort of pressure on Nigma to win it by a certain point, or is just this PL is always going to be king this match? You know, is there any sort of worry of that potential point where Mickey is able to just sort of sit back, hold the high ground to a point where it's going to be hard to break, or are you always going to have methods on Nigma's lineup to sort of be able to make that siege regardless of how well set up Liquid's high ground defense is?
The way I look at this game for Nigma is that they have Drow Zeus as like their win condition on the side of Team Liquid, and at some point they're going to screw up. Like I refuse to believe that against a team of Team Nigma's caliber that even the best players in the world can position properly for 40 minutes straight. Like when I say position properly, I mean it could be like 200 units slightly out of position. And I think they'll patiently wait, poke and prod with the ET spirits and the Phantom Lancer illusions, and eventually the Zeus and Drow will overstep and just get picked off and die. That's how I envision this game happening. But nice ET stomp into the splitter there. But there's a buyback. They're looking to take this. We are probably gonna go down.
Yeah, they're able to burst him with the Thunder God's Wrath.
Damn pauses. We'll blame the pause for that one, guys. You know, just kind of forgot how, like, Liquid's by no means going to just roll over and die here. They're not weak. They're just on a timer. And really good catch here if they can manage to. Do get the Zeus Bolt to cancel the TP. That's 3 kills. Now, that is not nothing. All the other kills so far I've seen haven't really changed the dynamic of the map. But before those kills, Team Liquid was kind of just stuck on their half of the map in their base. But now they're able to split up. Rubik's clearing up the triangle. The Zeus is going to be farming and dewarding around mid. They're even looking for more kills to snowball off of it as Taiga Boxy ganking squad and Drow's pushing top. Now this is a significant momentum swing that I think Nigma's actually kind of 3-2-2ing the game just a little bit, as they didn't quite hit their item timings. Weehaw is like 600 gold from a BKB when he was overextending there, but they're smoked. They clearly are not happy with how the map now looks on the side of Team Nigma.
See what they can find with this Tiger. He's already out.
Top tower is under attack.
As Nigma's going to have to chase pretty far if they want to find something here. Mickey also having an arcane rune ready for the next fight. That's pretty much the best one to have here for the Zeus. See if Kuro can get the setup. Boxy. And he's close to the tower, and Kuro's off the mark with the stun. So they won't be able to continue to dive in for that. Boxy's out to safety.
Looks like Miracle's going for the Abyssal Blade first. So I was under the impression he'd go like the tanky item, then the damage item. It looks like he's going to go like the initiation item first. So I imagine since he's doing that first, he'll probably go Scotty afterwards. This timing though, like if it's PL against the world, I think Team Nigma can lose the game late. Like what was looking so good for them earlier was that Weehaw was kind of keeping on par with the other cores, and now he's starting to slip behind because of that overextension top. And if it's just PL, they can ignore the PL. They can build to basically say, okay, we're going to kill your entire team first, and then we can deal with you. Drow doesn't really mind if that's the picture in the game. And I know I kind of sound like I've just flip-flopped, but I still think the game's hard for Team Liquid. But I think in professional Dota, they will have the proper coordination required to eventually deal with PL. And if like the reason why PL is the only farmed hero being a problem is he will get 6-slotted eventually. If you have farm distributed on 3 heroes and they only have it on PL, you've got 18 slots to work with. He's only got 6. So that's a way to win the game. And I really do like what Liquid's doing. I don't think this game is easy for them at all. And the Aegis is going to timeout, and it looks like they're content to claim the tier 2 and immediately back off.
I'll see if Liquid can catch any of them on the retreat. Oh, I say retreat. It looks like Nigma's still thinking about charging in on this with some vendetta from Kuro. Good spot from Mickey. Drops the ult. Knows that they're likely to be making some sort of move, and now they know what's coming. As Liquid can prepare on the high ground. We'll see if Nigma do want to still try and move into this, despite Liquid having some information on Nigma's intentions. And there's the jump. Mind Control starts to try and take the outpost back. The flurry of arrows, they actually kill off Mind Control to start the action off. Spike Carapace off in time as Quoifer ends up stunning himself. The chase here from Weehaw as he's able to commit with the BKB. Quoifer tries for the TP out, but they've got the Yules to cancel it. As Quoifer is going to be left behind by the rest of Liquid. Miracle finds the double. As Liquid, I mean, as I say, they were aware that Nigma is around. They decided to make the decision to try and stick about. Mind Control baiting out the action at the start of it all. Did die, but of course coming straight back in with the buyback, and as it were, the rest of Nigma able to sort of just get themselves on top of the key targets, and Miracle can find the opportunity to pick up a couple of kills.
I'll wait till after this fight happens because we don't have much time to talk here, as Nyx just gets caught scouting in the background. Looks like they're going to end the push there with that on the side of Team Nigma. I don't know if you remember the interview with Mind Control at TI where he baited a fight around his buyback as Enchantress and it ended up winning Team Liquid at the time the game. I'm like almost 100% sure, purely based on that history, that he told his team, I'm going to walk up to this outpost, they're going to go on me, I'm going to die, and then we fight them. I'm almost certain that's what he just said, because like that alone, it was like, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Like, why is he taking that outpost? He blows up, and then Nigma proceeds to get 2 or 3 kills. So that's the kind of stuff that these like top tier players, their foresight of the game is just insane to me. And there's like no way Liquid doesn't take that bait, you know? Like, how do you just see this guy that you know you can kill right in front of you and it's a core and you just ignore him? But here we go. Spoke up from Liquid.
Liquid, they're looking for the lead in onto Mind Control. Arena's going to get locked down. Boxy tries for the spear, but straight away Weehar's able to dodge it with the Yules. Toss to fall. Kuro finally gets taken out there by the final blast from Mickey. And now Weehaw with the BKBs having it run. There's Liquid. Those 2 quick kills to start off the action. Nigma definitely respecting sort of the damage now that Mickey's really being able to dish out from a distance. If they can't immediately get someone on top of this Zeus, On top of this Drow, they're kicking back a lot of damage in these team fights.
Yeah, this Abyssal Blade timing for PL is crucial. He takes a ton of damage from the Drow's E. The Drow multi-shot does a lot. He's been losing like half his health at the start of fights to that plus the Zeus ultimate. So, like, PL at half health is not nearly as scary because not only is he half health, but all of his illusions are also half health. So, you don't have nearly as much difficulty clearing through his army than you do when he's topped off. So, if they can keep getting the initiation like that, it results in PL not really being able to enter the fight, which means that these cores that I said would be removed from the game, the Zeus and the Drow, that's no longer the case. And you see that they have tons of damage when they're allowed to use it. PL does get the Cloak of Flames. I have to imagine he's very happy to get that item, as it gives some armor and magic resistance. He actually has no bonus armor. So against Drow, that's really nice. And obviously the magic resistance is very nice against the Zeus.
And still, it's, you know, this game, 28 minutes in, coming up, you know, Mickey, he hasn't died at all. You know, his positioning has been nothing less than perfect. They've just not been able to ever get on top of him. He's level 20. You know, he's having a very smooth game so far. So Nigma's got to try and find some sort of way to break through this formation of Liquid in these fights to finally take him down in this game.
Yeah, we're seeing the Zeus pick pay off, because even though he's the 2 position for the team, he really is the carry, right? Like, you look at the net worths, he's the star of the show, and I think that's kind of explains why Mickey's playing it, as opposed to Quakefa. But they're looking to force the issue here. Zeus ulti to scout.
A Tiger. He's in with the chase on a GH trapped in by the shards. They'll take him out, and we are having to put the BKB to TP out of this. He's getting another quick move from Liquid, where they're getting, you know, solid kills here now. Now up to building the lead up to a 4K advantage. And still just trying to do as much as they can before Miracle has that Abyssal Blade done. Definitely recognize.
This is a game I love to be wrong, man. I'm just, for me to be wrong, there's just so many things that Liquid has to do right. Like, it's so cool to watch. For me, I go into the game kind of rooting for who I think's gonna win. And so going in, like, with these drafts, I really thought Nigma was going to win. So I kind of approach it thinking, like, what are all the things they're going to do? This game's going to go their way, yada, yada, yada. And I didn't even necessarily consider all the things that Liquid could do to open up space on the map. And I just think the vision of the game for Zeus from Mickey is so cool, because he's like Boots of Travel, Bloodstone, which is probably the closest you could come to in the equivalence of like a Midas for Zeus. You know, I'm going to go hit a lot of creeps, is what that says to me. And he's looking to scale. And they're going to most likely secure an Aegis for Miracle once again. So I would say this is his strongest point, because if Zeus and Drow keep ramping up, it will be him against the world. And I really don't like that for them. So this is the time to shine. This is Miracle at his strongest. I don't think he wants to wait for another 1 or 2 items, because he'll have to replace the hood, which is actually extreme value as the game goes on. So I'm curious to see what Nigma looks to, when they look to ramp up the tempo. Maybe the next Exorcism, I would say, is their timing.
And then in these sort of fights, you know, for Miracle as the PR with the Abyssal done, is he just going to be looking for the Zeus? Or can he afford to go on anyone else? Or does it have to be Mickey?
Zeus or Drow. It has to be one of those 2. I think unless the other targets die immediately, he has to find the backlines. Weeha's got the blink now, so he can help him find the backlines, but they're looking to apparently go before that Exorcism's up. Not sure how I feel about this. We'll just have to see.
I mean, and again,
looks like they're kind of just trying to bully a little bit. They're not actually trying to force a fight.
Yeah, and each time that they're trying to do it, you know, Liquid are just again in excellent position. You know, it's very hard for Nigma to really start a fight against Liquid when they're appearing to be so ready for it. Next big item done for Mickey. He's got the full Octory. They're continuing to hit some very impressive timings here on this Zeus. Level 22 as well. I mean, if this game does continue at this pace and Mickey's able to get the 25, it's certainly going to be an incredibly hard push for the lineup of Nigma, even with that hood on the PL on Miracle, considering just how much damage and such a frequency Mickey's going to be able to kick out from the high ground.
I'm actually curious if Miracle chooses to go for like a Shadow Blade or a Swift Blink, something like that, in order to actually close the gap more reliably on these backliners. And the problem I have with this Bloodseeker hero is he doesn't actually play the map independently, as you're seeing here. When he plays alone like this, he's always vulnerable. And Mind Control getting picked off, it's just making them wait that much longer as he actually finds the Zeus.
But they've got the save.
Save.
Oh, that doesn't quite take it on the high ground. It cuts him a bit short. It might not matter though. Mickey's still on the retreat, but Miracle is chasing. In with the Phantom Rush and the Lance as well to slow Mickey down. Mickey trying to juke it out in the trees, was thinking about TPing. He's got that movement speed from the bots, but it's not enough as Mickey will fall. Arena's going to be dropped, but they have the stun control as Kuro turns over towards Boxy. The Mars held in place. Goes for the TP out, but the Stomp's there to put a cancel to it. As Nigma, they clean up big time here. 4 dead. And with the Ghost still up and ready, Weeha's able to rush immediately over to finish off the tier 1. And well, we saw it here. I guess this is the sort of action that you'd imagine that Nigma's lineup would be able to bring when they sort of are able to get Miracle involved and enabled straight away with a solid usage of this Abyssal to close in on Mickey.
Yeah, these are the moments where, like, I was hoping to be wrong, but it's like, I just refuse to believe you could be perfectly positioned on Zeus for like 45 minutes straight. Like, I just don't think that's possible. I think Mickey got caught for like 2 seconds. He probably had Blink Dagger off cooldown, or maybe it was 3 seconds cooldown or something, you know? And he just gets Abyssal by Miracle and dies. That is a absolutely, like, that is a 607 Zeus, super farmed, and one slight misposition and he dies. And I think one of the #1 components for scaling into the late game on any hero is to be hard to kill. And that's my issue going later as this game progresses, is that now that Miracle has that kill item, he's now like putting a Scotty on top of it. So once he gets on top of you, he's even tankier. He's gonna stay on top of you even longer. I love the item progression from both teams. I think they both clearly understand how they're gonna win this game. And it looks like Koikfa is itemizing to say, I'm going to take as long as possible for this PL to kill me, rather than I'm going to try to kill the PL. He's leaving that up to his Zeus. So he's gone for the Manta, Hurricane Pike, BKB, queuing up the Butterfly. PL never wants to buy an MKB. Boxy's gone Glimmer and a Ghost Scepter. These guys are saying, please, PL, leave me alone. That's all. Crimson Guard queued up on Taiga. I mean, you know, if there's symptoms of a PL problem, you can just look at the items for Liquid.
See Nigma ready to go once more. Liquid still just at this stage just continuing to keep themselves as a complete unit, not leave any chance for Nigma to find a way in with Miracle at the front, and in fact looking to strike back first themselves as Liquid out with the smoke. Not going to find anyone inside the triangle of Nigma's half of the map, but might still get this long wraparound that Nigma may not be completely prepared for. See what sort of initiation they can find as Insania is going to start walking in. What's going to be dropped down. Thundergod's Wrath straight away to scout out the situation. Tiger jumps in. He's able to finish off GH. Over to the side, we are trying to push them away. They've got the arena down, looking in onto Kuro. Kuro trapped in the arena. Boxy should be able to finish him off. Yeah, Insania's got the kill there with the Fade Bolt. Over to the side though, Miracle's going to start the cleanup in return. He's in onto Tiger. See who's heading for next. Mickey still continuing to run GH out of the action. They could have finished off the kill, but GH with the bull rip, he's out of there. He'll be able to keep himself far away. Now Liquid's got to be careful as the rest of Nigma's cores sweep across and look to close in on them. Boxy up in the air, Miracle, he's in on top of them and still with the CD going to work. Snowball's out, trying to help, but the Glimmer Cape, it's not enough to buy the safety for Boxy as Boxy still goes down. Tiger charging in onto GH. The Force Punch is enough, but he's going to lose his life. They still can't really do anything about Miracle in these fights. They're coming out with these kills, but Miracle's not dying, and he's able to just continue to reign supreme. And you can see on the levels after that engagement, he's just about to hit the 25 on PL.
That was a really cool engagement by Liquid, honestly. They waited for the Aegis to time out. They knew Nigma was on their own triangle high ground, so they did like this whole wraparound on the map just to get themselves out of their own base. They actually like Insania walked into the river, his smoke broke, he placed that ward in the middle lane that you still see there. I think they gave themselves all the possible tools they could to take an advantageous fight there. It's just hard. It's actually just hard. There's really nothing else to say as this game goes into the late game. PL actually is queuing up the Swift Blink, so that's kind of cool. Haven't gotten to see that yet.
Another kill for Mickey, another Bloodstone charge back up on him.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
You say how Miracle still a fair bit of gold to go towards that Swift Blink, and I imagine, well, yeah, okay, yeah, he's going to be able to free up a slot there. So Blink Dagger alone at least coming out, I mean that, even without the upgrade, still going to offer him extra potential of just getting in the face of Mickey, being able to get him with the touch before he's out with the Blink. Ghost Scepter will at least offer him that chance. Over in the river, another catch from Boxy, but we are able to put the cheese in the BKB, not quite able to burst him in time. Actually going to go back in aggressively onto Boxy. Boxy trying for the TP out. Yules is back and ready, puts a stop to it. He's trying to escape with the Glimmer. Miracle still a little hesitant on running in on this. Still down a member with Kuro out of the game. Mind Control actually having his BKB forced out of his hand at the side. Tiger rolling over. Does Miracle want to try and get in this? He continues to poke, but still respecting the fact that Quakefer and Mickey are there ready to kick out the damage if he comes running in. And Miracle, he's looking for the blink in, he's looking for his target, he's in onto Quakefer. Quakefer, can they get him out of there? He's going to put the BKB, but the ult for GH drags him back in. Quakefer goes down as Miracle in with that blink showing. Causes Quakefer to fall for 70 seconds. No buyback on him either, neither for Boxy. It's up to the base they push. See how much they want to put the pressure on. They've got the ghosts up. Nigma's not going away anytime soon. Fortification in play. Okay. Trying to do his best to spam them out, and it is working. Nigma falling a little low. In fact, Miracle, he's away from this siege. He's going to head over towards the top. They don't want to put any further pressure in mid. As Liquid are able to not really lose too much there, considering that they did lose both Quakefer and Boxy for quite a while.
Yeah, Miracle just has a bit of sustain issues right now. He had to drop the hood in favor of his Blink Dagger. So now that his only real regen is the Abyssal Blade, the Zeus damage over time has made him be a bit scared. He is still able to enter fights, but he can't really be like the raid boss PL or the Medusa we saw last game. He's doing a good job of like taking it slow, being a little, I'd say, patient in his targets. I think he had a lot of opportunities to blink on like the Tusk there, and he kept waiting for the right opportunity to find the Drow. So really good target selection there. Liquid camping their triangle. Zeus queuing up that late Ags. Even more damage coming out from him. Taiga realizes that Crimson Guard might just be a pipe dream as he gets the Ghost Scepter. Just waiting for Roche. Oh, Spell Prism for Zeus.
Oh, that's
nice.
Yeah, definitely one of the dream ones for Mickey. Smoke on smoke action. There's the jump straight away. Kuro's able to get the spike. Carapace turns with the impale. Tiger's going to get control. Mind Control straight to the backlines with the BKB. They're looking for Mickey. They're going to be able to find him. Mickey's down over towards Quakefer. Miracle jumping across. They've got the spear though. Miracle has been clipped against the arena. Boxy got the catch. He's got the kill. Miracle's down for 100. Double buybacks coming out from Liquid. As Liquid looking to turn and succeed here with this fight. As they bring down We Are. Mickey jumping in, chasing onwards. Insane able to put a stop to the attempted TP out from GH. If they bring down the Elder Titan, they'll finish off Kuroki. And Mickey, he's not done with the job yet. He's chasing on a Mind Control. They're going to be able to find the team wipe there. With two solid buybacks, Mickey and Sania coming straight back into the action. Absolutely no hesitation from the two of them there whatsoever, as they realize an opportunity to just take Nigma completely out of the game. 5 dead. Liquid can get a lot done, and they get a huge burst of XP there. Some huge kills, pushing Mickey up to level 26. Also, Roshan's up. They're going to be able to take themselves this. It's the 3rd one of the game. This Aghanim's, Cheese, and Aegis, it's all Liquid.
Liquid just, like, places themselves on the map so well. Like, every fight, it just looks like they always have the high ground. It looks like they always have, like, the tactical advantage, the vision advantage. It looks like Nigma has to fight into them. It's It's exactly what they need to do, man. It's just such good Dota. Like, I feel like both sides have to make so many right plays to win this game, and this is the kind of Dota that I love to watch. Drow now has an Ag Scepter for free. So maybe that late game Mjolnir to eventually deal with the PL. Let's see if he elects to go for that on Koikfa. But this is suddenly, yeah, it says 11k net worth. A lot of that is the Ags. He is queuing up the Mjolnir. So he's going to have his level 25. I think he'll probably take the marksmanship chance. That would be my guess, at least. We'll have to see on that one. But it will help amplify his damage a lot. He does. The marksmanship chance is pretty nutty. It's just free damage. I don't think the cooldown reduction... Like, the cooldown reduction used to be 50%. Back then, it was pretty insane. Now it's only 30. It's just not nearly as good as it used to. He's got the Illusionist Cape, too. Koikfa is pumping it out. And Miracle, suddenly, you know, he's 800 gold off of buyback. His item progression's been stunted. Koikfa's, you know, queuing up the luxury item that allows him to deal with this PL. I love it, man. This is just well envisioned by both teams and a little bit overzealous by Nigma to fight into the high ground of Liquid last fight. But looks like they are keen to do it again as they walk up into their own high ground.
See if Miracle can get the initiation. Starting to scout things off. He's in straight away. Big ult for GH comes slamming down in the middle of the three of them. And straight away, the two of them are out of it. The Aegis is gone, so they can kill him a second time. Miracle looking for his target. He's going to go for Koikfa in with the Abyssal, straight on top of the Drow. GH has taken out Tiger. Koikfa is trying to get out of this. He's teeping out of the low ground, but the BKB comes to an end. Yulstep puts a stop to his escape. Koikfa's going to fall.
Okay. Suddenly, no buybacks on two of those heroes.
I mean, that was such a quick move and such a big hit. Great angle from GH on the splitter. Down the middle of the three of them. And just able to take out Koikfa that quickly the first time, and then...
The move speed!
Oh, Mickey's running. But there's the chase. They've got to come out with the buybacks. They have to try and protect Mickey. He has the Ghost Scepter. Anything to go through it, they do. Kuro comes in with the Impale. The TP out, put to a stop. And this buyback from Tiger probably going to result in his death as well. Indeed, a dieback from him. 4 dead on Liquid. Nigma at least able to take a set of racks or two. Maybe even do more damage here with some of the extended death timers. They're going to try for it. Miracle just immediately over to the tier 4s. It's only Boxy alive. 30 seconds until anyone else is going to be able to join him. As Nigma looking to close this one up. Boxy, he's going to try his best to slow it down. It's not going to be enough. Boxy's out of the game. The tier 4s are falling. And they'll be soon to tap out here as the... What a game. I mean, a great game. A really great game here between the two squads. I mean, Liquid, as you said, it was definitely the more difficult match for them. But they did a stellar job of